So my intuition was right, and the peace of mind of having a medical system where you can go with your intuition and your gut feeling. And I had a choice to go to our ordinary doctor that we take him to for basic stuff, and to a hospital which has all the facilities and everything else. And Mikey just sounded bad, right? And as a parent, you want your kids to get the best care. Why is a hospital sometimes better than taking it to the doctor's office? Well, because if you think, I had a feeling, I think he needs to have that inhalation, right, breathalyzer, to help open up his lungs and his breathing. And now Mikey's, look at him, look at the little guy. He is passed out. And two, just in case they got to do blood work and everything else, they can do it all in a hospital. At your doctor's office, all they can do is kind of, they've got some medicine that's kind of like, hey, here's some medicine, that's how I feel, and probably, 9 out of 10 times that's fine. But when you think your little man is could have a serious condition, you want him to get the best care. And ultimately, when you take your kid to a hospital, you're ultimately doing that. In America, it's just not, you can't do it. It's just not, you go there and you're like, oh my gosh, what would you pay if you had to get an x-ray and do the steroid breathalyzer, whatever it was that he had, and 2 doctor visits and everything else on a regular HMO. One is you'd have to get permission. The doctor couldn't, it's not a medical emergency, he wouldn't be able to do it. Like here's like, if you see the video that I took, it was like, it's not really serious, but you know what? I just want to take a look. Yeah, sure. I like that idea. I like you going, I want to take a look at the lungs and get a good idea of what's going on here. And getting it done. And that is peace of mind that you just can't put a value to. And it's what basically, I would say 100 million Americans or 40 million Americans or 40 to 100 million Americans, maybe more, I know there's 400 million, so they're not getting that peace of mind. And I tell you, if you're a parent and you got kids and you're working in the States, man, my kids are always going to the doctor's office. And if you don't have health insurance with a family, and and imagine with the current employment crisis, they only track unemployment figures for like a year. What is the real unemployment in the States? Have you ever considered that? They don't keep a running total. Once you're off their books because you run out of that, that quota, you're no longer counted.